Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop IMPACT and
Smash This Podcast.
It is the official simulcast between the two, the family, the TNI and Smash family. We like to do this for the Impact Plus specials. So, guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Sacrifice 2021 edition. Review, discussion, breakdown. We're going to go over the whole Sacrifice. Just went off the air like 10 minutes ago. We're going to talk about Sacrifice, Impact Wrestling. Really made some waves tonight, guys. So we're about to really kick this thing off. Anyway, I'm your host, Trent, along with my co-host, Bill, J-Bo, and Alicia, and Mark, and we're here to break all this down. What's going on, everybody? What's new? What a night! What a night!
Right,
Crazy night.
A lot going on tonight. A lot of stuff that we're coming out of this one with. There's a ton to talk about. We're gonna go over the whole thing, but yeah. Bill, you want to talk? You guys did the watch along. You and Jay did the watch along. You want to talk about any highlights out of that? Just you guys were whoever was hanging out with these two in the watch along. You guys had a good time tonight, but there were a couple issues you want to talk about at the top of it, right?
Yeah, there definitely are. And we think there are. I know a lot of people are still hanging around from the show not ending because we hung around until only about a couple minutes ago. So we appreciate everyone sticking around. But just as we started the show tonight, Jay Bone and I. We've seen this the last couple Impact Plus specials where if you get in early before the stream starts, like maybe 10, 15 minutes early, and then you go through the countdown clock, you might get some buffering issues and all, but you're okay. If you jump in once it hits the start of the actual pay-per-view, you're kind of screwed. And that was me and a bunch of viewers tonight in the chat with us, and I saw on social media a lot of people too. It seems like they just cannot handle the bandwidth when they get a increased load of people on the site. We see that happen with Twitch in the past. They addressed it. We seen it happen. We thought it got addressed, but it seems like it's not addressed yet. And with these AEW, now New Japan connections, you know you're going to get increased viewership. That's on them tonight. They did not come. I like to always say, let's get serious. They're not being serious right now. Like, if you want to be this big player, you want to be the big boys, time to put on the big boy pants. Let's upgrade the servers. Let's get some people in IT to know what they're doing, and let's not have these issues. You don't look professional. As Brian Myers would say, you're not being professional, and they're not being professional here.
This was wonky for sure because it really, it took me 25 minutes to catch in.
I was about the same. I think I was longer. I think I was close to 30 minutes.
And it's got Alicia, do you have any problems with this?
Nope.
You were all in. Mark, here's the funny thing. Now, Mark, you subscribe through Fight as well as Impact Plus.
Go ahead. This happens every time, and I got sick of it, and I just said screw it, and I signed up for Fight service as well, and I had paid for a year of Impact Plus, so they're getting my money twice for the next 4 months. Whatever, man. I just wanted to be able to watch the shows, and I knew I couldn't count on the app.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to do that, and that's the thing we're talking about. So I think, like Bill, you were saying, you got to be. There's new people coming all the time to this company because of the partnerships. We just can't have this happen. Now, just a heads up, it is bad. It is all fully loaded on the app. I just pushed play on mine. The match I missed was the opener. It's playing on mine. So if you didn't miss any of it, it's all fully uploaded. You can watch it right now. But it's a bit challenging because you can't have it happening every month. The first month we get it. Second month we even gave it a little slack, but it's hard when it takes almost a half hour to kick in. That really does kind of put a fork in your plan sometimes. So I hope that next month, the road to Rebellion is on. You can't be risking this going into Rebellion. So
see, now this is interesting. I want to talk about this for a second. This is because usually I hear about people just watching it on just across like a Google feed or something. Ethan Thompson here says he uses Impact Plus on a PS4 internet browser, and he said his was fine. So that's interesting. I know it's not available on Xbox yet. It'd be nice if that happened because the what the hell was it called? GFW? No.
GWN?
GWN, thanks. Yeah. GWN was on Xbox, and as soon as it switched over to, they rebranded everything, they took it off Xbox, and it never came back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, we're not saying this to really shit on anything. We're just it's upsetting. We're not gonna lie. It's aggravating, but we just want the best for the company. We want people to come and like. I really like my concern is people got turned off tonight. If you were a new purchaser of Plus, and you're like, shit, I can't even get on this thing. Are you gonna pay back next month?
Not everyone's gonna pay twice, like some dumbasses. That's only for the hardcore. Like you're gonna lose a lot of people this way.
When you're crossing brands now and you're doing landmark things in professional wrestling that we haven't seen in the last few decades, and you've got, like, just a quick example, we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but you got teams like Finjuice coming in from New Japan, and you got New Japan fans watching Impact product. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
And plus you had a unification of your main titles tonight. So you knew your regular fans were going to be here in the masses.
Yeah.
So there's really no excuse for it. But then you look, like on some of them, people are talking about, you talked about the PlayStation, Roku, people on their Fire Sticks, but they're all like kind of different ways. You just have to have that bandwidth capability. It sounds like if you went through maybe the avenues that aren't as popular for the app, maybe you did fine. And Fight obviously they probably have extra bandwidth, but through whatever they're using, which we see WordPress used, and that always gets red flags for all of us, because I always say WordPress was antiquated 15 15 years ago. I think the day it came out, it was already old. So they're you don't want to be doing anything with WordPress.
Oh, they're giving away sites for free. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the proof's kind of in the pudding. We have this discussion once a month.
Yeah,
and we have since the app launched. Even before the relaunch, it was sound and audio issues. It was shooting on a cell phone. It was not enough cameras. It's been one thing after another. We're the biggest Impact fans. We love this company. This has to get fixed.
Yeah.
How many people have signed up and never opened the app again after the first time because of that?
Speaking of getting fixed, how about a shout out to Mark with his new microphone? Look, somebody sounds nice and clear tonight, huh? Look at that, Mark. You're a real podcaster now. How about that, huh?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Can you get a real pair of headphones now too to go with it? I mean, you want to be a real pro? Can you get a real pair of headphones?
I have been through. I have children and a wife that works out a lot. I have like 30 pairs of headphones. I'm lucky if I can ever find one.
You see this cool pair Alicia's rocking there? Those look cool, Alicia. What do you got there? Those look awesome.
I don't know. Stephen bought them.
They look nice. They look good. Aesthetic help.
Guy.
See, I go the opposite because I have my nice headphones.
Yeah.
But I don't wear those headphones because then I look like I'm going on a spaceship or something.
We got
I want it to be low key.
We're in the studio.
I want to pump up the volume.
Oh, yeah. And then you got
additions later.
You got J-Bones Checkers. You got J-Bones Checkers mishap in the chat here. Says it was a complete wreck. Oh, my God.
My ex-wife's in the chat, apparently, too. So just throwing all sorts of slander.
It's going to be a wild night.
This is a crazy night. All right, let's kick this off. Let's start it off. We're not going to do new. Trust me. Yeah, my ex-wife was definitely a Karen. No questions asked. Okay, I'll even share just because we're crazy and it's Saturday night. My ex-wife was such a fucking Karen that she would not let the grocery store bag her groceries because she thinks they wouldn't do it right. And she would insist on bagging her own groceries. She's like, they don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, that's their job. That's what they do all day long. She's like, they don't know what they're doing. They're not doing it right. I'm like, how the fuck are we married? I have no idea. Like, how is this happening?
F-bomb 9 minutes in from Trent.
Nice. Was she this way when you put the ring on her finger?
I mean, there were hints, but enough that I was like,
there were red flags.
I should have stayed. We should have been together a lot longer before I put the ring on the finger. But there were hints, and I was like, she's just a girl. She can be a little kooky sometimes. It's cool. She puts up with my crap. Look at this dumbass. I hate to bag my own groceries. And I'm like, fuck, what the hell's going on? The look from the baggers was the best part. Like, what? Like, yeah, it's okay. I can do it. What? Like, okay. Yeah, weird. Anyway.
Wild.
Very wild. That's only the tip of the iceberg. She can confirm it. She's clearly in the chat.
J-Bones Checkers mishap is standing up for you, Trent. What's happening? Wait, was I in the treehouse for like longer than I thought? What is this?
Trent's old bag.
Which one's Jay?
Which one's Jay? Oh, it's great.
Oh, man.
Great.
It's gonna be a long night.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's start it off. Like I said, I have the first match is playing for me right now, so I didn't see it because of the tech issues. Can anybody else take the first match? Somebody take the first match. Who wants to take the first one? Lead that one.
Well, what about the pre-show?
Okay, good. Talk about the pre-show.
I'm kidding.
I don't know if there was a pre-show. How did you get in there? Cut his mic.
Gotcha.
How about this?
Cut his camera too.
How about this? Since it's Rosemary and she's one of Alicia's favorite, Alicia, I'll let you set up the first match. It's a Decay.
Well, I missed the first match.
Oh,
so you have me set it up.
All right, Mark, you're probably the only one who had a proper feed here.
I missed half of it because I tried to sign into Impact Plus.
I was baking a cake, so
which looks I have to compliment your choice of strawberry cake with chocolate frosting. That shows true taste in a cake.
Yes.
Well, here's what we can do. Since we all got screwed here, I can wait till it finishes on my screen.
Oh,
I
guess I was the only one that watched.
All right, J-Bone, take it, please.
I listened to J-Bone talk about it.
Take it, J-Bone.
I had no choice but to pay attention. Poor Bill was just losing his mind. All right, so you got Reno Scum versus Decay, represented by Crazy Steve and Taurus, making his pay-per-view debut, and flanked by Rosemary, of course, and this was fun. I mean, unfortunately, it was short, and I was distracted a lot by Bill, and I was still setting up some stuff. So
Bill
I did
being angry in the chat.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, people complaining. People like Trent complaining, loading up the chat with F-bombs. Oh, it was cool.
I was fielding it on the Twitters too.
I felt like we were watching this, Jay.
Bad night for wrestling technology. I was lighting up the chat with F-bombs and texting Mark a bunch of F-bombs about the whole thing too. So I was pretty happy.
This first match, it's a shame that we're not getting to do this justice. Can I add a couple comments just so we do the first match a little bit?
Go ahead.
I will just say that Striker's R roll on Taurus' name is fantastic. That's got to be that AAA experience. Matt Striker is such a freaking pro. Also, there was one point where Crazy Steve has his back to, I think it's to Thornstowe. And Steve turns and wheels on him and catches him off guard. And Striker says, "Oh, and Crazy Steve sees him somehow." Striker starting the show super hot. But again, I was kind of like fielding the questions in and out too. So I just caught a bit of the commentary while I was like writing to people and stuff about the app. So
I'm seeing it now. Taurus has a badass finisher, by the way. That finisher.
That Taurus driver.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
But this is easy. This is a good time to plug something though. Mark, we got a tie-in to a plug for this Tuesday. Go ahead and take that real quick.
This Tuesday night, we will have should have, in my opinion, been winners, was my choice in predictions. We will have Adam Thornstowe from Reno Scum and hopefully, possibly Luster the Legend. So we could have both members of Reno Scum on Tuesday. So make sure you join us.
That's awesome. I think that's cool. Alicia's very excited. Look at that.
Actually, visit the Pity City.
Actually, Mark, you picked Decay. I picked.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, reversed. Okay,
I
got it right.
But either way, Thornstowe will be on TNI this Tuesday after Impact and Access TV. So he's hanging out with us, and hopefully Luster can join too. I'd love to have both of them on. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if he can make it.
I'd love that.
It's going to be a dope night. So
for sure.
Tune in. Bring your questions, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be the fallout from all this. So, it's going to be interesting. So, yeah.
I'm excited. I like them. I like those guys. So that was cool. Taurus wins with that Taurus drive, or Taurus makes the pin with the driver. Really cool finish, actually. Yeah. I really don't know where these guys go from here. Kind of, do they continue the feud? I guess maybe. None of them are really in like a deep story right now.
Something big's coming. Just you wait.
All right. Alicia's calling it. What do you think? All right. Fair enough.
I see big things in the future for Reno Scum at some point. I think right now it's probably because of what's going on in the world. Adam Thornstowe being working in the medical field professionally. I'm pretty sure that because they've been, this taping, they've pretty much just been getting pinned and putting people over.
Yeah.
They don't have a storyline, where they had a storyline for the last year. I feel like this is probably circumstantial and we haven't seen. This isn't Reno Scum being, just completely pushed to the bottom. I think it's circumstantial.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I have a thought, and we'll talk about it later when we get into another match. But maybe Violent by Design, I could see a connection here, either for both or just one of them. And then maybe the other one, like let's say a Thornstowe, gets involved in the X division.
Right.
See, that'd be interesting. I could see that too.
I'd like that.
Because Luster's a big dude, man.
He would fit in with Big Joe.
Oh my God. That's scary.
And that group got a little more firepower today. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's an interesting take. I want to put that one and kind of shelve that for a second and see what happens with that, maybe down the line.
There you go.
Interesting. All right, next match. I think this is when people's feet started kicking in around this match. Bill, did you still not get this match either?
I know. I come in, I think, right near the end of the match.
Okay. Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb with a K taking on Havok and Nevaeh, who still didn't get the Killer Death Machine's name, Alicia. I can't figure out why they wouldn't just name the Killer Death Machine at this point.
It might be copyright reasons.
Maybe the killer part. I don't want killers on the show. Yeah. I don't know. But
I mean, they'll kill people on the show. They just don't want.
That's true. That's true. Right. They will actually murder people on the show. They can't have the word killer out there, guys.
That's a fine point.
Nevaeh actually has a T-shirt, and it's the Coca-Cola font. It says "Killer." Have you guys seen this? It's a dope looking shirt. She was posting it the other day, and it's like the Coca-Cola logo font, and it just says "Killer," and I think it says "Death Machines" under it or something. It would look awesome. I'm like, I want to get that fucking shirt. That's a cool looking shirt.
Yeah, that's sick.
All right, Jay, I'll let you take this one because feeds were a little wonky here still. Go ahead and set this one up. What happened? What do we got?
Yeah, the only thing I missed was the ending because I refreshed the page just to get like my stuff synced in with Bill because our feeds were off a little bit, our timing. But this was fun. I got to tell you, and I've said this before leading into this, was this is the best I think that we've seen Tenille Dashwood, honestly. She was great here. Kaleb's fun to watch. He had the whole neck. It's the timing was my timing was absolutely impeccable. I was saying during the watch along, I said, Bill, I got a feeling that Kaleb's neck brace is going to come off pretty soon. Not even 2 seconds later, he was thrown in the corner and it was ripped off. And I was like, well, there you go.
There it is. There it is. But
I tell you, this match did not help Nevaeh and Havok's relationship.
No.
They didn't come off here with a win. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from all of this is.
It sounds like the Iceman was right from the get-go.
But here's the thing. Nevaeh took the pin on this, whereas she was kind of the one hot at Jess before. Yeah. So now it's like Nevaeh's getting the pin, and it's like, oh, shit, okay. So now who's mad at who, right? We'll see. This is gonna the fallout from this will be interesting. But I'm curious where it goes. Because, as we found out later, the tag belts stayed where they are. So can we get these two back in the mix on the tags? I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I hope
Maybe
so.
We'll be splitting them up for a single run. I mean, we need some new contenders for the women's titles. So
that's true.
We do, and we know where Tenille's going next already, and we know it's a singles match, which we find out later in the program.
Yeah.
Well, or is it?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we'll see.
I really liked them. I hope that. Is that bad if they just become a knockouts team or can go for both? I mean, I like, I'm fine with them either way. They should like bridge both divisions with Kaleb with a K and Tenille. I'd be okay with that. That could be a real flexible addition to the divisions.
Yeah, it could. I mean, we're short on ladies on right tags. Now, so
we're short on tag teams. Period. On
tags for sure. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what's going to be interesting is when we see this 12-woman tag on Tuesday, and we end up seeing Jessicka Havok. And this is a big if. We don't know who's on the teams. We don't know. I don't know if someone wants to check ImpactWrestling.com and see if they actually put the preview up for this next one. But we could see Jessicka Havok facing off against Nevaeh in this tag match.
That could happen. And that would be a badass match, actually. I'd like to see that, to be honest.
Friendship turns to a heated rivalry.
Yeah. It's always good.
Always the best moves.
For the gold. Yeah, I can see it.
It's always inner feuds are always good, feuds between friends are always fun. But Tenille gets the win. She gets the pin on this one. Nevaeh had the pin on a roll up. Kaleb came, rolled Tenille over her, so Tenille gets the win for their team.
Cheaters.
Cheaters, for sure.
Cheaters. There was so much tight grabbing going on here.
Tons of tight grabbing.
I like that Kaleb raked Nevaeh's back. I like that he just wrestled it like a regular match. He wrestled like straight up heel. Such a good heel.
Here you go.
He's great, man. Kaleb actually has come into his own so much. I mean, for a guy who was kind of a lost character for a long time, always like you really didn't, kind of a side player, didn't really know what's going on. He was kind of just there. I think he finally got something that really just hits him. It works.
I got it here.
What do you got? There we go. 6-on-6.
All right, so we got Susan, Tenille, Kimberly, Kiera, Tasha, and the Knockouts champ, Deanna Purrazzo against Alicia, Havok. Oh, Havok and Nevaeh together. That's interesting. Okay. And ODB, Jordynne, and Jazz.
Heels versus faces.
Yep, classic stuff. I like it though.
Is that all of our knockouts? Is that the whole division right now?
No Rosemary.
No Rosemary. Have we missed anybody else there? That's everybody else, isn't it?
Man, I think that's it right now.
So
Well, Rosemary's kind of in her own world, right? Decay's kind of doing their own thing right now.
Yeah. She's another one who's flexible too for intergender matches if you want to tag those things up.
That's
missing Susie and Susan.
So we're a little thin on knockouts. We need more knockouts.
Well,
we really do.
Sue services as 3 full characters. Honestly, she really no, seriously, like no bullshit. She really does. So that gives us a little bit more depth, but we're thinner than we've been in a while.
Can we also?
I have the runs.
Also touch back on. Can we touch back on Susan's entrance music from last Tuesday? Can I just like the suburban dance mom after her third margarita? She's gonna fucking
happy hour.
It's happy hour at Applebee's, and she's like, "I'm gonna go dance." There's no dance floor at Applebee's. I don't care. I'm gonna make it a dance floor. That's what that is. She is.
I played it for my family at dinner earlier because they were replaying Impact on Access, so I cranked it during that segment.
And your family was like, "What the fuck?"
They were like, "Dad, put your shirt back on. We're trying to eat Popeyes."
That joke sounds even better with your new microphone, Mark. Very nice. Look at that, huh?
You like that, huh?
I like that.
Good recommendation. I wonder who recommended that to me.
I definitely did. It was
really knows a lot about microphones.
It was a hot seller. It was the number 1 seller on Amazon. This new microphone. Good deal too. We go backstage. Eddie comes up to Rich Swann, is getting warmed up. He's kind of just hyping up Rich about unifying both belts and just kind of hyping him buddy to buddy. Just getting him fired up a little bit. We get a little hype package for the Violent by Design match versus James Storm and Sabin. And then we go to the match. Violent by Design, it's going to be Diener and Joe Doering with Eric Young in the corner, taking on James Storm and Chris Sabin with Jake Something in the corner. Now, I can't be the only one. We just had Jake on this past Tuesday. If you guys missed it, Jake Something was on our show just about 4 days ago. So if you missed it, go back and listen to it. Great interview with Jake, about 25-minute interview. Talked a lot about a bunch of stuff. So go back and check that out. Am I crazy? Or I can't be alone. Did anybody else think Jake was going to turn today? Anybody in the chat? You guys think Jake was going to turn today? No? No, huh? Am I alone on this? Bill, help me out here.
I did not think he was going to turn.
Wow.
No, I didn't have the feeling. It didn't feel like the right time. I think he will turn at some point.
Think so. Okay.
But it feels too soon. Rushed. Okay. And Impact, one thing they don't do is rush.
Definitely don't rush. They definitely don't rush. Great band, by the way. I'm a big Rush fan. Anybody a Rush fan over here?
Yeah, okay. I like Rush, but usually people that like Rush are like Rush. That's probably not me, but I enjoy Rush.
Alicia, does Stefan like Rush? I feel like he'd appreciate Rush. He's got, he's a funny guy.
He's all over the grid.
I'd like you to ask him later on and let me know.
I feel like every Rush fan is like Paul Rudd and like I Love You, Man.
I'm a crazy Rush fan though.
Slapping the bass.
I don't say that, but I definitely am a big Rush fan. I've seen him a lot of times.
I like Leo Rush.
Leo. Okay. I'm gonna cut your new mic. How about that?
At least he's wrestling
he's
related.
a big Roosh fan.
Roosh, there's Roosh also. He's still Ring of Honor champion. Roosh, he's still champion there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he lost. He dropped it, and then
he got it back.
Yeah, he got it back.
I gotta check. I gotta see what's going on. I have not watched their program in forever. I don't even know what's happening there anymore.
Good.
It's a good show, right? Like they put together. I heard they put together a good show. Yeah.
Got good characters. Like they're doing good stuff over there.
Their roster.
More people are talking about it.
Yeah.
I think their roster's still just a little thin. They need a few more
They're
more
still
signings.
recovering for sure.
Yeah. I gotta say that their app has. They do have a free app, and their app does stream their show for free. I did start it the other day, and it looks really clean. It's a clean looking show. I definitely will check it out. Not to divert too much here, but I definitely will check their show out.
Yeah.
So we had this match. Yeah, this was a nicely built. And Beer Guns has gotten a lot more mileage than I think anybody expected it to, huh, Bill? Like this has gone on longer than anybody thought it was going.
Yeah, well, you got two great talents. And like I said from the get-go, the one positive was Chris Sabin more mic time, and I'm a big fan of Chris Sabin cutting promos, and like his stuff in Swingers Palace is just pure gold. They'll never get old. Like he just loves that place, and he's just, and it's great to see both these guys. These are two TNA Hall of Famers in the making. Like they both should go in. So it's just great that they are getting more mileage out of this, because the whole Shelley thing, obviously they were tag champs for a while. It left them at least in the picture. Like Sabin's not an afterthought, because it was either this or probably go into the X division. But the X division is pretty loaded right now, so the tag division needs them. They do, man.
It's
true.
I think it's key. As long as you got them, keep them.
Yeah. And they work really well together.
They do
so well. Talk about veterans. They look so natural together.
They do. I mean, they go back to the Asylum days, huh, Jay? Like these guys are.
Old school.
I mean, they're old school. They go back to year one.
Year one guys, you can't knock that. I mean, yeah, they've come and gone a little here and there, injuries, whatnot, life, whatever life brings them. But man, they're here. Let's appreciate them while they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cool.
This has been a really, really great, good thing to come out of a bad thing. I mean, I know we were all really sad when Shelley said, for reasons of his own and his regular job and life and career, he can't be here. But man, we got a great situation out of this. In this match, when Joe Doering runs the rope, is anyone else scared as hell that someone's going to die? That dude runs the ropes better than anyone I've ever seen in my life.
He runs really hard into the rope. Like he just fucking takes him.
So big that the entire ring shifts to one side. I mean, he is truly like the definition of a freight train. I can't wait till we get our first singles like hardcore cage match with Joe Doering and some poor unfortunate soul. That's the day I'm waiting for.
Ever since that explosion match where he just took Shogun to town.
We haven't even seen. He killed Shogun. We haven't seen him since. He dead. Sorry, Shogun. It was nice while you were here, but
he was the real end of Explosion.
Yeah,
I love that Stryker really sells Joe to us. Like reminds us like, hey, this guy's a former All Japan like Triple Crown winner. Like he's a big deal over there. Like this guy, right? He is a big fucking guy. I told you, I walked by him in October, and I was like, I didn't know he was right. That's the first time. I'm like, he was gigantic. It was a large man. I'm like, holy shit, that's a big guy. I can imagine wrestling the guy. Like that's a whole next level. But no, he looked cool. He's a very powerful individual. But his matches are great though. I really like Joe Doering a lot.
He looks the part, and he wrestles to what he should look like, or what he looks like he should wrestle. Big,
I'll tell you guys what.
Scary,
I'll tell you guys what. I knew somebody who did not like him at all based on the prior thing they've seen of him. I sent them the Shogun match, and like, you need to watch this. And that sold this friend of mine. He's like, Jesus Christ, that was fucking awesome. He's like, wow, I never liked him. I didn't like him at all until this match. So I think you can work with Joe. Joe's got a lot to offer. So absolutely keep this up. But this was a good match.
That maybe aren't. I think someone had said that they're not sold on Joe in the ring yet. If you haven't watched that Explosion match, go back and watch it. If you watch tonight's pay-per-view on the app. It's on. The Explosion's on Impact Plus. Check it out.
It's was it the last one?
It may be the
second to last.
I don't think it was the last. Second to last one.
Second to last one.
It was in the last few. Yeah.
Yeah, go back and watch that. It's worth a checkout for sure. But this was great. This was okay. Anybody see the Rhino turn coming? I didn't see that coming.
I
at all.
didn't see
Rhino.
Good time.
Dude, that was totally surprising. But they had to do something with him, right? Since Heath is out for unforeseeable time. So I'm with it. And then Heath's going to come back and save him.
There you go.
It ain't no secret. I need a job.
Poor guy.
It does have that nice built-in long tail story, but also it brings that call your shot trophy from the BFG gauntlet to Violent by Design. And if you're following the leader and EY is the man, you got to give up your possessions to the leader. That's EY's trophy now.
That's interesting. From a story perspective, that's interesting.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think about that. I don't think anybody thought about that.
That's the big story, I think.
That's cool. That's
you can call for any tag titles, world title, whatever.
Yeah, that's as Negan as it comes. Your shit is my shit.
Right?
Remember, he has the cup and the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So everyone thought it'd be him and Heath, but it's probably going to be him and Violent by Design.
Yeah, look, and unfortunately, we're not going to see Heath for a long time. I mean, he just had his surgery. He's literally learning to walk again. It's he's got a long road ahead of him, and we wish him all the best.
Did you guys see he had 3 simultaneous surgeries? It was like 3 at once or something, because there's like 3 areas that were affected by that tear, and he had to have all 3 at the same time while they opened them up, basically.
Yeah,
that's fucking brutal, man.
He's moving slow. He's moving slow, folks.
I imagine a half a year recovery on this. There's no way.
Yeah, it seems longer, like as much as it looked like. Not that I'm a doctor, but geez.
Did you know the day he signed his Impact contract? That was the day it happened. Like he actually signed a contract that day. That's terrible.
Oh
man.
My god.
Yeah. I would say though, everybody in the chat, if you have Twitter, definitely shoot him some encouragement, because that's rough. The guy's got kids.
Yeah.
He's like, go. Sorry, Alicia, go ahead.
He's got kids. Yeah.
He's got kids. These got kids, man. I mean, like, I don't know, and motivate him a little bit to come make him feel good.
Yeah, like 12 of them or something. I don't know.
Something. It's got a lot of kids.
He's been saying that for a long time, so he's got to at least over a dozen kids.
I did pop for Jake with the very Luger like elbow that he gave. Did you see that? Anybody see that? They hit the ropes and do the forearm, the running forearm, very old school Luger like. But I was convinced Jake was turning today, but man, I did not see Rhino coming at all. I think the Rhino thing is a great twist. He looks good with them. When they all stood together, there's a photo that Impact posted tonight, and it's all of them.
Yes,
they look cool as shit together.
They fit for sure.
That's stable.
That's a stable. We got a stable here now. Like, this is a straight up stable now.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean, Rhino comes in. I think he speared. Did he spear Sabin? I believe. Or Gord Sabin. And then Diener got the 1, 2, 3. So they're off to a win. So that was a good one. That's a good story match. That's one to follow for story for sure.
But the Violent by
Proud as a peacock.
He sure is. Miller time.
The Violent by Design story may actually be one of the best, if not the best story we have going really right now. All the potential ramifications of this group as it continues to grow could end up being like the big A story at some point. So I don't know. I'm keeping my eye on this one. It's really intriguing.
I don't want to say it's hidden behind the AEW stuff, but it's a solid one that's doing its own thing as for like a pure Impact story. So I would say give this one a little more credit.
Well, you've got several in-ring veterans in this. I mean, they're all.
They are.
That's the thing. We were talking about this recently. That we think of Cody being a fresh guy because he just came in with Jake within the last year or two. But no, he's been in this company before. He has a lot of history, and he's had a lot of in-ring history as well. He's been around, wrestling for a long time. So you've got 4 veterans in this group now. That on paper, you look at these names, that makes this the most devastating stable in Impact Wrestling right now.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Keep an eye on this guy. They got new merch too. They got the cool T-shirts out. So
yeah,
this is one of those. This is one of those stories that's an Impact story. There's a lot going on with AEW, New Japan. It's like, you want to support an Impact story, support this one. Get their shirts. Beyond this one. I'm excited about it. I like where this is going. Bound by Design gets the win. Gia Miller backstage with Brian Myers before his hold harmless match with Eddie. He's just sick and tired of Eddie beating him all the time, so he's ready for the grudge match. He's kind of just ready to go. A little hype for that. That's the next match. Hold harmless match. Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers. This match was slower. Bill, I'm going to go to you first on this. I thought it was a little slower, but the big spots they hit were great big spots. But in between, it was a little slower pace. Am I off?
I would say it was methodical. I wouldn't say necessarily slow. I thought it worked for these guys though, because I was even saying during the watch long, like, this is the feud you didn't know you wanted, but it's been great because this was Brian Myers. His debut was he called the challenge of Eddie Edwards when he was world champion. That was his debut wrestling match. We got all those vignettes, and then he came out to that. He did not defeat him, obviously, but there's a build in, like that's how he arrived in Impact, Brian Myers. And now that this is a good and Eddie, the same thing. It's like, where does Eddie go? We weren't sure where he was going a month ago, 6 weeks ago. So I think this is a good place for both of them. Obviously, we got Hernandez, our good friend Hernandez.
He friend of the show, Hernandez.
Yeah, and then always ready. He's always ready. Matt Cardona was there. Which was good to see. Obviously, Matt Cardona has done a lot more in Impact than he did down south for those couple weeks. So
what did he do down there? Like 2 weeks of shows down there? Is that it?
No, he did 5. I think he did 5 appearances.
But the way they were spaced out, it almost feel like he wasn't even there.
Yeah,
other than his debut.
Yeah.
So he feels like a member of the roster.
For sure.
He does. Sure. Yeah, that roster down in AEW was so loaded before all that, and then he came in, and so it's like, all right, so what do you do with him? And he added some stuff with Cody, and he tagged with him, and he had a couple singles matches, but it was never like a lot of like attention. Like it wasn't like what they just gave Christian. Okay, perfect example. It wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, you either get fed to Cody or maybe you go to the top of the card.
He's in his own story. He's getting featured out. That's good. And
it makes sense. Connect them with Brian Myers, but they're not going right into like a tag together or anything like that. They played a feud up together. But with Cardona calling out, we work together. You're not idiots.
Has Myers hasn't beaten Eddie at all, right? Am I crazy? Like how many?
I don't think so.
No, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not a single win. Is this kind of like a Raven Dreamer type thing where he just can't get the win over his nemesis? But it's reversed because he's the heel and Eddie's the face. But he just cannot beat him, and they're gonna.
But Myers has been winning a lot of his other matches. Like someone even pointed out, I think they had his record. It's a really good record with something like whatever, like 3-to-1 ratio wins the losses.
Yeah, he's been doing good.
But not against Eddie, though.
But not against Eddie.
That's the key, right? He can't beat, because he said in that promo.
I think Andrew might be right here. I think he may have won by
DQ, which I think even Dreamer got back in the day against Raven.
Yeah,
he got a DQ him. He never pinned him for years, for like 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
So I don't think they'll go 2 years, but I think you're on a similar kind of thing, right? Because Myers he's a Dreamer guy. I can see it happening, but it's weird because he's a heel this time. But I don't know. That could be something.
Because they both took a lot from Dreamer, so it does make sense to kind of put them together.
And it's like he's gonna keep trying. No, I'll fucking die trying to beat you, kind of thing, right? So it's kind of cool. Go ahead, Jay.
The comparison that you gave to Dreamer and Raven is eerily similar now, because it just popped in my head. What does Myers always do?
The Dreamer pose, right?
He's
a Dreamer guy, though.
Yeah. That's not how you handle your business. Calm down. Don't do this.
That's a good one. That was
Myers has been a real gift. I'm so high on this guy. This match was great too. This was the sleeper of the card for me. I didn't really know what to expect from a hold harmless match, but these guys took out a great pace. They did it like strong style for a long time before they went outside.
Yeah.
They had that really creative spot where Myers went under the apron and then grabbed Eddie's hands and pulled him into the apron edge to basically in his face. Yeah. That was really cool. And then there was that really painful looking backpack stunner that Eddie delivered.
Through the table. Yeah, that was dope.
Dude, they kept showing it and my butt was hurting so bad.
Did anybody see Sammy's post about that? Please tell me. Sami Callihan tweeted the GIF, the animated GIF of that. And he just wrote, "My hole."
In my ass.
Dude, that was such a cringy spot. Oh man, I felt for Eddie's tailbone so much. But the overall match was really well put together, really great pace. It felt like an Elgin and Eddie match, but with Brian Myers in it. I loved this match. Big fans.
Oh man, if Eddie or Myers don't come out on Tuesday walking a little funny, selling this past match and mumbling down the hall, my whole man, they're just missing something.
Hey, they could talk to Eddie Kingston about selling.
Oh God! I heard he oversold that thing. Yeah. Oof. All right, so now we're in the title portion oh my God.
All tag matches to start the show. Any feelings on that? 3 straight tags?
Oh yeah, 3 straight tags, and then the singles, huh?
I think I mentioned on Tuesday to you, Trent. There's so many tags on this card. Tag heavy card.
So now we go to the striker mention. It's the title portion coming up. So it's knockouts tag belts, right? This was interesting. Fire and Flava taking on Jordynne and Jazz. Personally, I thought this was going to be a Jordynne and Jazz title flip. I thought it was going to happen. I thought they were going to put the belt on Jazz. Also Jordynne, because they've been really working hard. I mean, there's been a lot of momentum with these ladies lately, especially with Jazz. I think they're pushing the whole veteran thing, ODB, Jazz around. It's like I thought they'd put a belt on her, even if they flip it out quick. I thought this was going to be it, but I guess not. Alicia, you got any thoughts on this one? I mean, is this the end of Jordynne and Jazz? That's my only question too. Like, what are we doing with these two now?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say it would be the end, but that remains to be seen. I'm not really sure because I feel as far as the tag titles and the main championship, maybe kind of lost in the sauce right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious where they end up because do you just keep them as a team though, Jordynne and Jazz, right? Or do you just say, go back to singles?
Well, it's we gotta have teams. What's the point of introducing these tag belts if we break up the teams as soon as they lose?
Right.
What is the logic behind that? I just don't get it. Because you have to remember, we're already dealing with this scenario as far as Havok and Nevaeh are concerned, as far as will they or won't they break up and go into singles or remain tag. So that's one of our, 4 teams, potential teams?
It's like break them up. We're down
and we can't keep bringing in new people to challenge for them because then everybody else gets lost again in the sauce. So,
fucking preach, Alicia.
Thank you.
100% on all. It make the belts become valueless if every time somebody loses, you break them up.
Yep.
What's the point?
Good point.
So basically, you're saying, it wasn't really worth it, but that one try, I give it.
That's what they're doing up north. So think about that.
We've seen that happen with trios and tag titles all over the place for decades. Mm-hmm. So they need to be really careful here because we are thin on the women's side a bit on the roster. Suddenly, it just kind of creeped up on us, I think. But it's Impact; they'll fill it out.
I hope these next taping.
Those belts soon. Not anything against Tasha and Kiera. It's just we got to start. It's like that hot potato train of thought. Is that because they're so new, we really need to start boasting our women's tag divisions. And so if it's got to bounce between a couple people before we start doing long reigns, that's what we got to do.
That's it. That's for sure.
Too many long reigns and it becomes boring and redundant.
That's it.
Look at your shirt right now there, Trent, and remember the North's run.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that's. I think Kiera and I think the Fire and the Flava, they could have a long run with those titles.
Yeah, they definitely could, but we could also do it at another time.
Yeah,
once
like the second run.
Established.
Yeah,
that's not Impact.
But I'm with Alicia. You have to build up a little bit of a history on them, a rebuild of a history before you give like a year-long reign, because it's like you don't have enough teams. I think you don't have enough teams to keep throwing challenges.
You don't have enough teams that usually keep the belt on somebody for a long time,
and that's
or no opponents.
That's what happened the first time. That's what happened the first time with the knockout tag belts. That's why they died the first time, because you didn't have enough. You know, you flopped them a little, you flipped them a little bit, but they didn't have enough to work with, and then they
need a return or an outside team.
Yeah, you have to have.
Who's going to take the titles? That nobody on the roster is taking the titles from.
At least the first time,
not without development of at least another 2 sets of tapings. I'm with you on that. There's nobody
at the earliest.
Yes, yeah. There's nobody ready. I don't think that would make sense and not kind of screw with the story. We could like all disagree on that one all day, but we all like seeing this division. A couple more notes. Fire and Flavor, obviously, like they're my favorites. I know I mark hard for them. They are looking better though, seriously, all the time. The amount of tandem, they're like the Midnight Express, dude. Like every fifth move is a tandem move.
Yeah,
they look so good in the ring together. They're both just really fast and really agile, and man, they're so good. I don't even want. You know what? If you took the belts off them, I wouldn't be mad because they'd be fine without them, right? They have that kind of charisma, you know. But the belts really make sense on them because they bring that shit every time. One final note on the refereeing match. It was on the refereeing in this match. Toll saw Tasha's splash off the top during the pin, directly looked at it, and then turned around and come on, Toll. I was like, man, this is like some Rudy shit from the old days. Like the refereeing is usually pretty solid in Modern Impact, but that one was painful. I had to call it out. Come on, Toll. And he's our senior ref. Well,
he doesn't say
he's still unhappy about that Fire and Flava festival.
You're right. You're right.
I do love. They subtly always make sure that he's always their referee, though, because it always ties into that. Think about that. Time. Toll always refs Fire and Flava's matches because it ties into their shit.
It's funny.
There was a move though. I don't know if Jay, you're pretty good at catching like individual moves. Kiera does she did that flippy crucifix on Jordynne, where she kind of wraps around and she like flipped her over. Holy shit, that was badass. I was like, man.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you got to remember. Kiera and Tasha have been tagging together for months while we were screaming for these belts to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And Jazz and Jordynne are still relatively new. So, I mean, that speaks volumes as far as why you think, Jordynne's a badass and Jazz is a veteran. Yeah, but do they have the chemistry? They don't. Mm-hmm. They got to tag for at least another 6 months before you start seeing massive results in their direction. That's why Kiera and Tasha, got the win here, because they have that chemistry. Right. They got that communication. They are
with each other.
The Fire and the Flava. Exactly, Alicia.
Exactly. Jay, while we appreciate your opinion, there's two people who don't agree.
Whose uncle is this? If the 80s don't come back and get their uncle for real.
I'm sorry, J-Bo.
Amazing.
Sorry. Go. What do you say, Mark?
Oh, I was just gonna say, but I'm supposed to be
your Uncle Mark.
Uncle now.
Yeah, wait a minute. We got to flex that to you now.
Hey, well, remember, he was Uncle J-Bone from Paul.
He's the original Uncle J-Bone.
You graduate to Grandpa J-Bone now, Jay?
I'm Uncle Mark. Yeah, I'm Uncle Mark to all the rest of these little chatters.
Well, Jay, you are probably the first who's going to be a grandpa out of the group here, like a shoot grandpa out of the group here.
Watch your mouth, Trent.
It's about to happen. If anyone's close to having it.
I had my daughter and her boyfriend over for dinner the other night. So it's like every time I have them over now, I feel like my daughter is gonna bust some kind of. She's gonna bust some kind of. She came over around the holidays and she's like, "Hey, I got some news for you." And I'm like, oh shit, here it comes.
Oh no.
And it was that no, they decided to get an apartment together, and I was like, oh geez, Jiminy Christmas, thank you.
Step one. Step one.
Watch out, could be this.
What's going on between you and my daughter?
Brother.
Did he cut the brother on that bill? Is the brother cut off there?
I assume there's always a brother.
Like, no, Alicia's saying, like the hook of that is him saying daughter, brother.
Not good timing for that statement.
I can't wait to repeat that line someday. You know?
Oh my God, Jay, you have to. What's going on between you and my daughter, brother?
While wearing the Savage shirt. It's
man,
I like
so
that
much
shirt.
going on. Yeah, nice shirt, Jay. Well, Meyer, huh? Little Meyer find. Nice.
$9.99, folks. Yeah, it's got that acid wash look to it, and it's got
that.
King Savage.
I'll take a trip out there next weekend. Pick one of those up. That's cool.
Where's Queen Sherry?
You need Queen Sherry out there too, but very cool. So we'll see. That's our take. So Fire Flavor do retain still your Knockouts tag champs. That's what's going on there. What's next? What do we got? Next one is Gia's there trying to get a word with Moose. He doesn't want to talk. He has no time to talk. But Mark, you pointed something out here. You texted me right about here. You're like, the transition from Gia to the match was weird. What happened there exactly? I missed it.
Well, I'm not sure if there was like a mistake, or it led me to believe that there was going to be an interjection or something was going to happen before the match, because Moose turns away from Gia and then immediately they cut to Ace's entrance, and you know, J-Bone had predicted there was going to be a third person inserted into this match, and I guess that was in the back of my head because the whole thing seemed really chaotic and just kind of out of sorts. So I don't know. It just kind of basically set my spider sense off, but then, you know, everything's went off as they were supposed to.
We were right to the match after that.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. Like, it wasn't, as we've talked about on the Throwback Show, it wasn't a continuous cam from one segment to the other. It was just this really quick, strange edit that, like, the feed just dropped out and picked back up. I don't know. Maybe it was just...
It's been a bangorama.
That's the next match.
Well, that's it. It was a bangorama.
That brings us to our next match, which is TJP and Ace Austin. Probably... This, honestly, guys, is turning into one of the greatest X Division feuds in company history.
Good for you.
I'm talking
it's pretty good.
Going back to the Asylum days, AJ, Jerry Lynn, Low Key, Amazing Red, Chris Daniels, Samoa Joe, all those days. This TJP and Ace has truly become like one of the best feuds they've ever had. And this match, again, just knocked it out of the park. Like, this was... shit, man. Like, this was incredible. Actually, I really love this match. Ace Austin wins the X Division title. He's the new two-time champion.
Yes. Well-deserved.
Very well-deserved. He's a friend of the show, too. So is Gia, by the way. So we
congratulations, Mr. Scoop.
Yes.
Good job, Ace. Good job, Ace.
But definitely, he was, from what I remember seeing on his Twitter today, he was wrestling on 3 different shows that were broadcasting tonight. Yeah. Do you guys see that? Like, Sacrifice, he was on another tape show that was releasing tonight, and then he was wrestling live on like an iPay-per-view tonight. Like, this guy's wild.
That was Tasha at Genesis. Rick rooting it up.
Yeah.
They mentioned on commentary, TJP's reign that just ended was over 100 days.
It's a long reign, dude.
It was a long reign. I mean, I guess it didn't feel that long because he was the Manic storyline was more storyline focused than title defense focused. And there was a character change in there where, like, we didn't know he was Manic. Then it was just always acknowledged. And then all of a sudden he was just TJP. But it's been 100 days. Like, what a great way to end that reign with such a fantastic match. And most importantly, one note on this, pay attention to this because they've been doing it since the beginning. And I think this is going to be important a year or two from now. They have protected the fold like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Good call.
And fold means you're done in any aspect, anywhere on the card, anywhere on the floor, anywhere in the arena. So I think that's going to be a huge thing when they finally put that big belt on Ace before he turns 25 years old and becomes the youngest Impact World Champion ever.
That could happen, man. Bill, we want to start with you. You've been a little quiet for a minute. Thoughts on this one? I know you've been liking this one.
Great match. Don't disappoint. These two can work with anybody, and
every time
when you get two guys like that work with each other, you're in for something special. And TJP has been one of the underrated match of the year guys for the last 2 years. And Ace is always fantastic, and this is going to live up. This was a fantastic match. Glad to see Ace take it. I wasn't sure if he'd take it tonight because he still had the cup, so he always could go back and get another chance. So it seemed like the shot was there. So it's interesting that he got the title and still has his cup. I know somebody even said in the chat, it's like they have these cups around and no one's cashing them in.
2 cups, yeah.
So
no one's
when are they going to use? When are they going to use these cups? We'll see.
Ace today though dropped that. You see on Twitter? He said option C is always looming. Don't forget.
Oh yeah. Oh no. He's pretty much indicated. I think this probably does end with his reign. Option C. I think he probably will because he has his goal on that world title. But with all these other storylines we'll get into as the show goes on, it's like when will he have that time? But I know his goal. He wants that title before he passes a certain age. He wants to be the youngest world champion.
And he loves option C.
The trophy gives him access to again?
That gives him access to the X Division title.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
which he already has now.
And which a couple of weeks ago I said he could combine these once he won it to get an instant title shot. Exactly. If he loses it, he could then cash in the other one immediately
and then take it back or something.
That'd be interesting. Yes.
I like that.
We can do a few different things.
We want this belt on Ace. He's our guy. Put that belt on Ace Austin now.
But it depends. Something. Like I wouldn't mind Chris Bay maybe taking it off him and him getting it back.
You got Rohit in that mix too, though.
A lot of people fighting. Josh Alexander.
Josh.
Yeah. Josh is in that mix. There's a lot, man. There's a lot of X divisioning going on here.
There's actually a lot more different things going on in the X division than the top title scene right now. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the title scene. The top title scene is loaded because of other things, but I'm just talking about as far as people involved.
It's old school.
If it's up to me, I'd throw Adam Thornstowe and Jordan Grayson in the X division tomorrow.
Yes. Hell yes.
I think it's time you have a woman as the X division champion at some point.
Oh yeah,
we talk about all the time.
Yep.
Jordynne is a girl to go to for it.
Good candidate.
I think she'd be
a little more reliable.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I mean, like I'm with Alicia though. Like if you're gonna break that mold, and go with a knockout to be to hold what was always a men's title. I think you can trust Jordynne in the terms of honorability. She won't fuck the company over.
Speaking of, we have somebody in the chat here.
Kevin Martin.
What's up, Kevin?
What's up, man?
Great show.
Big Kev.
What a show. Very nice. Kevin Martin just celebrated his anniversary with Impact Wrestling about a week or so ago. So congrats to you, Kev.
1 year.
Definitely a major player with Impact Wrestling production. One of the got a lot of shout outs from people. A lot of people love him. We love him. Thank you, Kevin, for all you do at Impact. But there's a lot. X Division's got a ton.
With how loaded it is, and I know Akeem's saying it here too, Destination X should be on the table as one of the monthlies.
Yes. Agreed.
It's just laying the groundwork for Destination X.
Yeah.
Maybe Elevation X.
No.
People don't like that. Oh, Mark doesn't like that one.
No, I can't watch Elevation X. It makes my butthole pucker the whole time. I can't do anything. I just sit there with my butthole pucker. Yeah, not good. No Elevation X.
I'll tune in. I'll check it out.
It'll be on Dynamite next week. No,
Ultimate X. Yeah,
I learned something new about you, Mark.
And I'm not an Elevation X fan. It was just that one time, right? The Rhino AJ one.
That was it.
Is that it? Okay.
We only did it one time. That was one time.
Ooh, thank God! I never have to watch that again.
So in other words, you can't watch it because
I have the runs.
It gives me the runs. Yes.
Well, congrats to Ace.
Better now.
Ace was on our show 2 months ago, and he literally on our show said it was going to happen. Like, he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a 2-time X Division champion, and I'm going to be Yep, I'm going to be the youngest world champion. He literally claimed it. He did it tonight, and he's like I said, he's a good friend of the show. He was awesome. We're super happy for him, and I think
TNI curse here.
The TNI curse is gone.
Yeah,
gone. But no, shout out to Ace. I mean, the match was incredible. Shout out to TJL. So these two just have chemistry that's unmatched, and I could watch them. I could watch a best of this feud. It's so good. like TJ or not. People have mixed feelings on TJP, but as a performer, I can never shortchange this guy.
Dude can flat out wrestle.
He's just good. He's been doing this since he was like 13. So like the guy knows what he's doing, man.
There was a few times in this match when he had Ace, when he had that ankle twisted up like a pretzel in the middle of the ring, and Ace couldn't get to the rope and was clawing and scratching, and then TJP would ring him right back to the middle of the ring. I was like, oh man, Ace ain't gonna make it.
Hey, Jay, it's all that working out, man. He's got all those extra muscles around there.
Sure.
Yeah, he was able to,
big legs.
Big
legs.
His thighs are like the size of my waist. It's ridiculous.
I love how he always jumped in front of the pictures of the crew that he for Heat and all that he worked out with, and it's like he's just enormous compared to the rest of them.
Yeah. And like always flexing.
All about angles.
We get a Swingers Palace segment here where Alicia Edwards challenges Tenille. Swingers is great. I do love how they purposely show that it's like a makeshift casino. Like you saw like the fourth wall being broken. It's like it's backstage and there's like production dudes here. Just Swinger doing shit.
I want my pizzles back.
I love that. It's just but that fucking that painting. Can we sell the painting? Bill, what kind of stroke do you have?
It'd be in the background, man.
Alicia, would you hang that at your new place?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking framed.
Like right at the entrance.
Right when you walk in.
Swinger on a horse?
Yeah.
You've seen the room I'm sitting in. I'd buy like 5. I'm good for 5 of those bad boys.
You want to talk class. That's classy.
Yeah.
J-Bone, it could be
one in every room.
I want it right behind J-Bone on that wall. Bill, I want you to replace the British boot camp. Mark, it goes right behind you where the flag is. Alicia, right behind you or at your entrance. And me, I'll literally just have a chair for it right here, and it'll hang out with me doing the podcast.
Well, it'll be like Dear Leader, but Swinger in all of our homes. Yeah.
I love it. I honestly, this is like no joke. If they don't sell that, it's such a missed opportunity. Like it's so over the top hilarious that they didn't sell that.
We just got to keep getting the buzz going.
Let's keep that buzz going. Like tweet that out. There was a little buzz about it last week. I need you to do it again.
Yeah, because let's get that out. If they did a print and a T-shirt for the Don and Kenny, like
it's terrible.
It's terrible. This is great.
This is great. This is fantastic.
A masterpiece.
I love it. Hopefully, J-Bone, would you hang it behind you?
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah, 16 by 20. Give me one.
All right, so you already got sales here. That's enough to do it.
There's 5. Well, Mark said about 5. There's 10 sales right
5.
here.
Yeah, right here.
Christmas gifts. I'm giving it to everybody for Christmas. Like, who the fuck is
this? I know the chat. I know some people in the chat are gonna buy one too. There's some merch people out there.
I just want to give it to people and have them open. Like, what the fuck? Who's this? Like, don't ask questions. Don't dream it's over. Just put it behind you. Put it behind
you. You give them the painting. You give them the painting at Christmas, and you sign them up for Pill of the Month Club.
Pizzelles of the Month Club.
There you go.
Get a fanny pack with it.
That'd be great. We go to the Knockouts Championship. Deanna with Kimber and Susan in her corner, who get kicked out pretty soon into this versus ODB. I personally got to say, to be honest, I didn't think this had good chemistry. I didn't like how this one flowed. I thought it was like it was not terrible or anything. It wasn't like they were clunky or like they didn't know how to work. I just felt like these two just didn't have the chemistry that they do with other people. And that was my take on it. Maybe I don't want to be too critical. I just felt like it was just kind of they went through it. They figured each other out. But there was a moment where Deanna was like selling something from ODB, which felt like forever. Did you catch that? Anybody catch this?
I didn't catch that.
Like,
you're talking about when she's on her back, the look on her face, and she looks directly almost at the camera, right? It catches her looking off like I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to go.
But like she was selling her back or something for like what seemed like 5 minutes. Like she's rolling around and I'm like, okay, what happened? Like, did you even get like shot? I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I thought like, should that have been edited? I don't know what happened there. I was like, man, this really felt weird to me at that moment.
Maybe just a weird sell.
just a weird sell, I guess. Yeah, maybe these two just, I don't know. Maybe it was a weird moment in the match, setting up for something. I don't know. Did Bill, Jay, did you guys catch that come up in the watch along at all too, or am I crazy?
Not really. I don't think that really came up.
I think I didn't pay as much attention to this as some of the other ones. I mean, I felt like
what?
Burying yourself. Give him a soundbite or something, Bill. Bury him right here.
What the fuck?
Bury him in some form.
Well, it was very.
It was ODB Deanna. J-Bone.
It was distracting. It was. I mean, there was a lot of bam. I'm trying to be respectful to Alicia here. You know, it was very distracting. It was. You know,
has Alicia told you several times that you don't need to like censor yourself here? She can outswear you any day, J-Bone.
I believe it. I believe it. I'm just saying. It was very distracting, and then I'd have to shake it off. I'd miss part of the match, and then all of a sudden, bam! Oh,
okay, boomer.
There it is. That's it. J-Bone, on that note, cut your mic. All right, but Deanna wins with the finisher, the double Fujiwara, the Venus de Milo. She wins with that. ODB taps out to it. But it wasn't long either. Kind of a short match too, huh?
I mean,
for Deanna.
Good
I think that's part of what this is, where you're trying. Because Deanna, I think our expectation level of Deanna matches is very high as the knockout and wrestler of the year. And she's put on Iron Man woman matches. So it's a very tough standard. And I think, as you say, working with others, she's having match of the year candidates a lot of the time. That was not going to be the case here. So I think they did it the right way they could. But still a good match. Like her doing the stuff on the like off the rope with the 5 count, like kind of taking her arm, like really doing that extra limb work that way, getting creative. It was a different style of the Deanna match. And I can appreciate that, but it's not your typical Deanna match for sure.
Yeah. I think, Alicia, you're going to say something?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think you're right, though, Bill. We're used to her not having like brawler matches, which is what this was, right? I was kind of just like,
she went ODB style with a little bit of Deanna.
Right. So it's an ODB match with Deanna kind of fitting into that. So
I think that's a good assessment from Bill. I was a little bit harsh via text to Trent during this, just saying I think this was Deanna's weakest match next to the one she had with Lish on Explosion, which almost doesn't really factor in. Right. But they just didn't. There wasn't a lot of chemistry there, like I felt with Deanna and everyone else. But Bill, you're probably right. It was more of an ODB style match. It just wasn't what we're used to seeing hour-long bangers from Deanna, every different sort, and maybe this was just a normal match, and we're not used to seeing a normal match from her. We're used to seeing match of the year every fucking time because she's that good. So
subconsciously,
I'll go back and watch this one again later, like guaranteed, because it's a Deanna match, and we'll see how it holds up.
It's worth a rewatch, and I got it playing right now, so I'll probably catch it in glimpses here. But I think you're right; it's worth a rewatch just to now that we've talked about it and kind of brought that out. And everybody in the chat, I'm kind of curious what you guys think too. Sound off in the chat what you guys thought about this. Are we off, or what do you guys think? Do you agree with us or disagree? It's a weird one to analyze. I'm curious how other people took it too, but definitely worth a rewatch. It's not a long match, and I'm gonna see it. And I'm curious how I see it now that we've kind of brought that to light.
I feel bad even saying anything.
I know. I
feel
guilty now.
A Deanna match,
great,
right. Like what about
better to be honest?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they're here to hear us, right? For honesty.
Like there's some, like, looking in the chat though, there's some feedback, that a finish felt a little too sudden, and it was a little it had a different kind of flow to it. So people are seeing it in different light. So go ahead, Jay.
When you're going from Jordynne Grace versus Gianna Peraza, when you're going from Taya Valkyrie versus Deanna Peraza to ODB, you're gonna notice a significant difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are like 3 different styles of wrestling, period.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to watch it again. I'm gonna see it again, and I'm gonna give another thought on that for sure.
So here's a thought too, and I kind of had this before. I wasn't expecting ODB to win, but she has mentioned, not in storyline, but her being the beginning of more to come of the knockouts. So I think maybe this kind of still gives her a storyline reason to stick around, right? A loss to Deanna could mean ODB stays involved in that storyline because Deanna has characters around her. So,
I'm all for ODB sticking around. I love me some ODB.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my point. I think she's going to stick around. This isn't the end for ODB. So
I want more of those veterans to stick around and be hanging out. So I'm all about ODB chilling and being a part of that roster, just kind of being a veteran presence. Plus, she's great. That promo on Tuesday. She offered Gia, she's like, "You want a drink?" She's like, "I'm at work." Just so am I. Boom, and slaps her on the ass.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
I love that. Give me that every week.
Oh yeah.
I'm with my beard on this one. That's where you could see ODBN.
Hey, she never technically lost him either. By the way,
no, she has a claim with the right partner.
She does. Yeah. Honestly, personally, I wouldn't mind ODB and Jazz had been the team.
That would have made a lot of sense.
That would have been, to me, it would have been like the veterans get their run. And
or let's say another veteran returns, maybe a former knockout tag champion like a Taylor Wilde.
It's been teased.
Or somebody else.
She's been teasing it heavy for about half a year now. So
yeah.
Well, she admitted it in someone's podcast, I think by accident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Real quick, backstage, Tenille and Lish Edwards running into D'Amore's office, demanding a match for Tuesday. He says it'll happen. He said they'll be a part of a huge tag team match, and he says more information revealed on the website later on, so you don't know, which we did reveal at the top of the show. So we do know what that's going to be, the 6-on-6. What's going on? All right. The next one we'll spend a little bit of time on. This is a big one. The Impact World Tag Team Championships. The Good Brothers versus Finjuice. Tag titles on the line. Juice Robinson, David Finlay. Insane. I don't think anybody saw the finish coming.
No.
Not at all. Finjuice wins the tag team titles tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't Magic Killer 1, 2, 3.
No.
Unreal.
Is this because the Good Brothers are going to AEW full time?
That's the risk. That's the risk of people will think that depending on how it plays out. Because they already have a match.
Story could be. I'm with Alicia could be the story.
They've been more predominantly on AEW from what I gather than on Impact, so it was just a curiosity.
They're there every week, right?
Since this Kenny Omega, almost.
They're there every time Kenny Omega's there.
Yeah. They're walking.
Who is their world champion?
They're walking out with Kenny, or they're running in, helping them during matches, like we saw during the exploding match.
Can you remind us with video about that exploding match Jay was talking about? Just for anybody who missed the explosion.
Oh yes. Here was the explosion.
Thank you, Bill.
Hopefully Tony doesn't take our video down by showing that explosion.
Yeah, we don't want to get copyrighted.
And I honestly don't even know what's going to happen as I do this stuff. But we know what he feels about Impact.
Perfect time to give an assessment on the pro wrestling industry and where we all stand. Impact Wrestling, the number one. Impact Wrestling, the number one.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Appreciate that.
Yeah. He's gonna tune in and check it out. So it was this. There was some stuff I was talking about during the pay-per-view while this match was going on, assuming, and there I go again. I'm eating my own words now, folks. Because I always say never assume in the world of professional wrestling. And what do you know? The Good Brothers lost. Yeah. And let's see, here's the thing. The Good Brothers are wrestling Eddie Kingston and Mox this coming Wednesday on the St. Patty's Day Slam on AEW Dynamite.
Just saying.
Yeah. Now it's a regular match.
It is. But here was my thinking going into it. I'm like, I'm fantasy booking the shit out of this, folks. Okay, I'm having fun with this. I'm like, if Kingston and Mox beat the Impact Wrestling tag champs, guess what? They get a chance at them. And what if Mox and Kingston end up becoming Impact Wrestling World Tag Team champions and spending some time on Impact Wrestling? I'm having fun with it.
I get how to write him out soon. He's got to go on maternity leave.
Who does?
Moxley.
Oh, Moxley does? Really?
He's gonna have a baby in the next couple of months, isn't he?
Soon.
Yeah, Cody and Mox are going to be sharing cigars.
Yeah. Well, guys, just a quick news flash. Men get maternity leave sometimes.
They do. A guy I work with is taking it for a month. I'm like, what? Yeah. A month? And he's like, yeah, a month. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Oh, look at Rollins. And you never know what's going on with the health of the wife. Sometimes it's needed. So it's appreciated.
That's why this guy works.
And extra cautious, dude.
Yeah. He's got a health issue. There was a complication he's taking it off for. But that's crazy. Mark, did you take a month off when your kids were born?
I got 3 weeks paternity with my daughter at the time because I was working in nonprofit. But with my son, no, I was working corporate, so I got shit on.
Damn, crazy. Yeah. But well, that's the thing is the reason, Jay, I don't want Mox and Kingston to win belts. It's like, man, you took it from two guys who are Impact guys who are on AEW basically, to New Japan guys, to AEW guys. Like, man, we got Reno Scum walking around like the fuck.
Yeah. No.
You know, like, come on. So I don't want to go too far with other people's teams, you know.
No, like, I get I love Mox. Mox is one of my all-time favorites. It's just because it would be a very like, you know, everybody's talking about Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, what if Mox, you know, came over for a bit too?
I'd rather please, yes, him, yes.
No.
Anybody
Mox.
but Kenny.
I'd rather Reno Scum.
More Kenny.
I'd rather Reno Scum kick the shit out of everybody and bring our tag team titles back to Impact.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Oi.
Which one's Jay?
What?
let's talk about that. The big thing here.
The
New
big
Japan.
thing now. Now let's talk about that. That's the segue. Now let's set this up, Bill. This is huge now.
This is huge.
I don't think they're pissed about Okada anymore, right?
Can't talk about Okada anymore. The Okada thing, that's gone. It's gone.
Bill, can I shoot on the dirt sheets for a second here? I want to shoot. I got the bell out.
They'll never work together because Okada, they didn't like his treatment.
Oh yeah. Ago. So okay, I'm gonna go on the dirt sheets. The bell signifies that I'm starting off on the dirt sheet right here. All for years, for what seems like 10 fucking years, these dirt sheets have gone on and said, oh, New Japan is still pissed about Okada being in that goofy storylines. They'll never work with Impact Wrestling. That's why they hate Impact. Oh, New Japan hates Impact. Meltzer with his bullshit constantly. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, I don't think one character pissed them off that bad. Where it's like, Scott D'Amore's in Japan repairing the relationship with New Japan over the Okada thing. It's like, what the fuck are you people talking about? Now we just put our tag belts on two of their guys.
Yeah.
I think we're cool.
I think the feud's over, guys.
Yeah, you can't ask for more rub than that.
And here's the thing. Where's the retraction? Where's the follow from the dirt sheets to be like, hey, you know what? They worked it all out.
Well, you know what?
My fin juice is on.
We don't normally do it, but we got to do it since you're doing it. Here it is.
For that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
The absolute worst at the end. That son of a bitch at the end with the absolute proprietor of this bullshit.
By worst, you mean best.
No, but like
you know, Alicia just ate, guys.
Yeah, that cake is coming back with a vengeance.
Well, I think you're talking. That was one man's opinion.
But I
on not liking that story.
Since then, seen other videos of him doing those kind of whatever he's doing.
That's an average day for him.
He's a fucking.
That's demonic.
He's fucking.
Hey, see him watch a match at the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, come on. Forget about it. Just Splash City.
Thanks.
But
you know, like a Gallagher show.
And then that ain't watermelons. Holy shit!
Dear Lord.
The thing is, it's fucking ridiculous. You know what? There's never been a retraction on any of it. There's never been a whole thing when this all started. When Finjuice came over, there wasn't a hey. By the way, let me beat you guys over the head with the fact that they've repaired the relationship with now.
Hey, Trent, when freaking Okada shows up at the Impact Zone for Slammiversary.
Oh, god damn it, yes. Then
minds will explode.
And he said he's going. I mean, Carl Anderson said the fucking guy's going to be there. Like, he's like, it's not if, it's when. He's already told you they're coming. Like, this shit's cool. But for the longest time, they beat us over the head with that. It's all fucked up. They hate him.
Hey, remember, like, Kenny Omega was a one-off.
Yeah, it was a one-off. Exactly.
Yeah.
Never with the retractions, never with the follow-ups. Bullshit. Don't read dirt sheets, guys. Honest to God, like, don't ever read this bullshit.
It'll scramble
Don't be a mark.
It'll scramble your brains.
Challenge.
TV scramble your brains.
that old Rachel Lee Cook commercial for the anti-drug campaign where she's like, "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs."
Oh yeah, she fucking destroys.
She starts smashing up the kitchen.
God. So I had his biggest crush on RachelLee Cook back then. I was like, yeah, we can smash my kitchen anytime.
Someone say smash.
Smash.
Okay, family show.
Family show.
Good show.
I meant the podcast.
That's such a bullshit rumor. This is a family show. Who the hell came up with that?
It's like the inside joke, right? Because we're a bunch of like
degenerates. We're kind of our little family.
Yeah.
We're kind of a little family. We are. We lost the scumbag. We replaced the scumbag with an uncle.
He'll be back once summer.
What a scumbag!
I was expecting a run-in tonight. We see him on Saturdays when there's a special. That's been kind of the pattern.
Sometimes,
for a few minutes.
Yeah. I love when he does. I love when he does run in, and he's like, "Oh, we're over. Oh shit, what's going on?" And he like keeps us going for like another 20 minutes. Like,
well, I said this during the reaction show, but I'll say it here again. I've been in talks with the Scum.
I heard a rumor here.
And there is talk of possibly not a long, but maybe like a 15-minute show tomorrow debuting called the TNI Mukbang.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what is it?
It'll be a fast food review not fast food, but a food review that's fast. Like a 15-minute show with me and Kyle.
Interesting.
Where we're both eating something and giving our opinions.
Oh, like a live? You're like, we're watching you eat? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Reviews are popular. Food
reviews are popular.
We're gonna do some food reviews on some of the hot stuff going on out there.
As long as you don't bring in Ryback,
Does he do food reviews?
He does do food reviews.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. They're hot. Food reviews are hot online.
Yeah.
People love watching other people eat and talk about them. Yeah, I've never watched him.
He sits in his car in a Taco Bell parking lot and shoves 3 burritos in his mouth in about 10 seconds. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's a dude who does that too. God, I forgot his name. He's like really popular though. He like deep analysis on like fast food. Fuck, and he's an East Coast guy, Billy. I don't know if you heard. I forgot. I'll have to get you his name. He's great though. Like I read some of his stuff. I'm like, this guy's actually pretty convincing. I do want to try that Popeye's chicken sandwich now. And it's not just all the people killing each other over it. It's this guy.
Oh yes.
But just to wrap this up, so this is huge, right? This is huge that New Japan's got our belts, and I think it's a big deal that now. How long do they hold them? Is it a long reign? Is it more of a token? Like, hey, we're cool. Let's here's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We're all buddies now. I said something. I popped in a watch on. I thought. Maybe part of it is this too. For the longest time, the IWGP tag belts were on the machine guns. The Dudleys had them. They were defended on our pay-per-views, our TV. New Japan never got anything like this. First time they're getting Impact belts now. So it's kind of like, hey, maybe we didn't do enough at the time. Here's our belts for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Finjuice holding them for a couple of months if they get to take them to a New Japan broadcast at some point.
Well, Kurt was, wasn't Kurt NWA and IWGP heavyweight championship at the same time?
Kurt,
he was IWGP champion, Kurt Angle, at one point.
Yeah, but that's their belt
connection. Yeah,
we never gave those guys any of our belts.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that there were times where there was, because I think didn't Dudley's hold the IWGP?
They had them. The Guns. It's like they did a lot for giving us from their stuff. It's like we never said here's a couple of our belts. You take them on your TV.
Yeah,
they're taping in LA. I know that during the pandemic they're doing some LA tapings for some of their US stuff.
Yeah,
Finjuice is on those. That broadcast in Japan. I think it's only fair. Our belts go there. It'd be nice also for the Impact tag belt to be shown there as well. I think everybody wins. Nobody loses on this.
Right.
So keep them on.
This could be the start because I think you're going to see some Noah stuff too.
Yeah.
You already seen it with Eddie, but they're already mood is confirmed that they want him to come over and
it's
defend
a lot more
it.
Tastefully done, so I'm more here for it. I like this New Japan wave.
Yeah. This is different. This has more, to me, has a way bigger global impact in a way,
Better storytelling.
Yeah, because like these guys kind of snuck in the back door took down the AEW /Impact guys. They messed their whole thing up. There's a lot going on with this. I think this is fun. You can go a lot of different directions with this thing.
Well, the young guys overturned the old veterans.
Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw them winning the titles.
Yeah. Well, except for Matt Stryker, who was saying it.
Yeah.
Well, but they're not taking it seriously. And let me just say, Matt Stryker during this match called him juicy at one point.
Juicy? Only one juicy in his Juventud Guerrero. That's
juicy.
He is juicy. The juice.
I'll tell you what, at the shoot, I hung out. I had dinner with Juventud Guerrero after an AAW show. He legit talks like that. He legit he legit describes like good situations as juicy. Hey, look, oh my god, this restaurant's so juicy. This is a great juicy place. I'm like, holy shit, this is a shoot.
Not a character, by any
no,
means.
that's the Hoovy. Good shit. But so the new tag team champions, Finn Juice. That is David Finlay and Juice Robinson, local boy to Chicago. So I'm happy for Juice. I always like Juice, so that's cool.
Is the Doomsday Device always their finisher?
That I don't know. I don't watch New Japan much. I don't really know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
anybody know in the chat? Jay?
I feel like they used it before, but I couldn't tell you for sure if that's always it.
I just thought that was awesome. I popped for it. I didn't realize it was going to be the end of the match. But when they went up and did it, I was like, hell yeah, Doomsday Device.
I was like, wow. And honestly, I think some people are going to have different opinions, and that's fine. But I say this everything like Private Party coming for our belts, New Japan coming over for our belts, completely elevates the status of our tag team titles.
That's true. That's true.
Which are now recognized by PWI.
Thank you very much. You can thank me and Basil for that.
I was about to say, good job getting that done.
You got that right, damn it. We held the editor's feet to the fire on that one live
for another time. It's about damn time.
Hakeem also mentioned real quick the British Invasion also had the IWGP tag belts too. So they put their belts on 3 of Impact's teams in the past. It's only time to give it back a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
totally cool.
The other company, not so much.
Right. The other one was always weird because it's like they're Impact guys. They're running a dual storyline. It was weird. It was just like, that's fine. I love the Good Brothers. Don't get me wrong, but this one seems like there's a lot more relationship building off of it. The AEW things it's a lock already. You already had the Kenny and Don and Kenny getting the title shot. They're already locked in here. New Japan to me is now the bigger branch to go down. Right. So we'll see where it goes. Main event. This is it. This one's pretty quick. All right, big one. Moose, Rich Swann, both titles on the line. TNA belt, Impact World title. This is
match.
What a match. What a story. This was heavy. Bill, you are the Moose guy. You got the vest on. I want to let you start this one off. Kick this off. Set it up.
No, it was so good match. A lot of back and forth. These guys work well together. But I think you were even saying it because you were on the watch along
for this,
with us for this one.
Yeah.
Just looking at Moose coming into this.
What a
star. He's just oozing star, face of the company, charisma. And not a knock on Rich.
Yes.
No.
Everything good with Rich. I always like to say, Rich, I've seen him from the beginning of his career before he could even wrestle. When he's like, you can be there, but you can't wrestle. And Rich has come a long way too. But you even said it during while we were watching it. And he always puts it out there, Moose, too. He's very upfront with his journey in wrestling. And he's like, I went from this. Like, he's always putting these pictures of, this was me 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This was me 6 months ago. And you just see the work he's putting in. Just in the gym, in the ring. He watches tape. He takes that football player, the pro football player mentality, and he applies it to wrestling. I know he was in a recent interview and talked about, like, he wants to maybe even be, like, train people when he gets when he's no longer active. But
I personally saw Moose. I did a promo with him once at AAW, and he watched it back no less than 25 times just to make sure he learned from it. Did I do this right? Was my face right? I mean, that guy that football tape study like you're talking about, Bill. The guy is a pure athlete, man. What a star. And
when you see him go up and he just like a cat jumps to the top rope pretty much. He just flies up those ropes. Like you're like, where he's just going to kill somebody. He's flying so fast, but he does it because he practices it all the time. And like you see him hit a move like that, you're like, this guy, like it goes back to that Spanish Fly he did to Kenny Omega.
Oh my God.
It's like that he has these in his arsenal. The guy has no doubt, if he was wrestling in New Japan, our boy Meltzer would be freaking out about this guy.
Yeah.
Because he just has it all. He's got the total, in baseball they call it a 5-tool player. He is a 5-tool player, and he's got it. He's got it all here. Now, obviously, I even said during it, I didn't think Moose was going to win, but I thought there'd be shenanigans, some type of dusty finish, protect Moose, because he'd have to be the one that would get the belt off Kenny Omega at some point.
Yeah.
But the lose clean.
That's the weird thing to me now.
The lose clean. What did our chat do as soon as that ended? He's gone. He's not re-signing. He's going to AEW. He's leaving. That's what that ending is making the fandom think.
It scares me. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose.
You don't
Moose.
get the payoff. A guy that should have won the title at Rebellion 2 years ago. But then it was great for his character, but he should have won it 2 years ago. That was the ending.
With them since the EC3 thing? Like, what have they been building up for?
They're building it, and it's been a great build. But if it just fizzles out and never happens, I'm hoping not. But now to me, it just seemed like you have that dirty. You protect them because they've been protecting them for months.
But they didn't protect him tonight,
and they didn't protect him tonight.
It was like
I really thought he would have taken it, Moose. I was like emotionally invested in it.
I mean, I think we all were. This tonight was the big one, and this was. But see, okay, Jay. Before
just one note before we leave this, they had to protect the lineage of the belt. It had to be clean. I thought there was going to be shenanigans too in our prediction show, but when I think about it, to put the what is that noise?
Sorry, I was turning pages. Sorry.
Take it easy, Bob Seger. Relax on turning your pages. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, just to put the lineage of the belts together, I feel like it had to be clean, so there's no question about the belt's history.
Here's my take, though, and this is what I said to me. This is why I'm like kind of weirdly okay with this. If Moose won it tonight, was he going to drop it to Kenny at Rebellion in a month? They're hyping Kenny like God for this pay-per-view. It's like, I don't want Moose to win it and have a 1 month title reign either.
That's why I didn't have him winning.
I want Moose to be the one that like saves Impact. You know what I'm saying? Like Kenny takes our fucking belt, takes it down south, says, I got your belt. Fuck you. And here comes Moose at Slammiversary or Bound for Blood. Oh, fuck you. And I'm going to take our belt back and take yours or some shit like that. You know, it's got to be that.
Well, that's the thing. When I did my predictions with Mark, I said Moose was winning this, and I said there was also a damn good possibility that he could have been beating Kenny. You never know. You never know. I'm not going to assume anything with
Finn Juice tonight. You never know.
It's more fun not knowing, obviously, right, guys? It's more fun on that, but. I don't know. Anybody else? I mean, Alicia, you got to say. I mean, don't you want to add to this? We're kind of in like a waiting pattern now. Like, what happens? This whole thing.
Yeah, because basically now that Swan unified the titles, that's him versus Kenny Omega at the next paper.
That's it. Yep.
And so if there's supposed to be any storyline, the only thing is with Moose. The only thing I can picture is nothing short of him beating the ever-loving shit out of Rich Swann and preventing him from going into that position. But then how would he get the belt off of him before then?
I like that, though.
Maybe
because it's like we've already seen that Moose has great potential to go to dark places, and maybe this is just the thing that finally tailspins him into the dark side.
I like that.
So either way, it should be interesting. I just really was hoping that after everything, months and months and months of build up, that this would finally be the payoff. Again, love Rich Swann, nothing against him, but you're killing me with this Moose shit.
I know.
You're killing me here.
I'll try and be the voice of reason. I don't think Moose is leaving. I don't think Moose is leaving. I don't think he's going to leave. Well, I don't mean for you. I just mean in general. Like, it seems like a lot of people are on that train of thought.
And real quick, Mark, I want to just ask the chat. Like, I want everybody, you guys, this is the main event, so sound off on this in the chat. I'm really curious what people think of this one too. This is a very interesting finish. So go ahead and sound off freely on this one. Go ahead, Mark.
So my thought at the time that it happened, right away, was that I'm thinking Swan drops it, Moose gets it back, right? And it makes sense in that context. If you do this for Swan, you've made Swan now forever. He's the guy who unified the TNA and Impact World titles. And then in return, he drops it to Kenny, and it's okay because it's still a wash. Rich doesn't lose all of his credibility in that loss because he unified the titles, right? It protects Rich. It protects Moose getting it back. That I still think that's where we're going. Like contract, whatever. Like this shit is. Let's not think about that.
Yeah,
I don't see a reason for Moose to leave without becoming the champion first, and it hasn't happened. That's not his personality. Like this dude's been here so long. He did the same thing in the NFL. Like I don't know Moose personally, but like he just doesn't seem like that kind of guy. Yeah. He seems like he's going to get this belt before he leaves to go somewhere else. Just my feeling on it.
He has to.
Yeah, this would be worse than the Rascals by 1,000 if he didn't.
Oh yeah. After all this, no way. Can we risk that? I mean, I'm holding off for if Kenny's taking it, Moose is the savior, but it's a long time away. But here's the thing. But here's the thing: Kenny does not have to have a long reign though.
No,
Kenny could have like a 2-month reign, and that's fine.
He should have no reign.
I agree with that. I'm with that.
I'm kidding.
I don't think he should have a reign. But if he's gonna have one, Rebellion to Slam, and you heroically win it. Slam is the big show now. I mean, I as much as I love Bound for Glory, I think we all agree. Slam is like the show of the company, right? So do it at Slam. I think that's got to be it. So 2-month reign. Can we hold off another 4 months?
or
3 months?
Double or nothing.
Or their pay-per-view. That's an interesting thing.
But they got to
have Moose take the title back at theirs.
At any point, I would believe it if they would feature Impact.
They haven't featured
show,
that either.
But we don't get no paid ads. We don't get no.
I'll say this:
turn away at the parking lot.
Nothing.
Jay, you can admit to this. Didn't this last Wednesday feel like the most Impact? Not in a positive light, but the most Impact mentions on one of their shows.
Oh yeah.
By far. Like it seemed like it quadrupled.
Yeah.
As in 5 times.
I don't understand the storyline then, and maybe this is why this whole thing is falling flat on me. So like basically the only storyline is to shit on Impact. And we're supposed to be like, this is so great.
We're getting the mention.
We're getting a mention. Oh, that's so strong. Like that, I'm not buying it. And
they're the heel in this, but it's not like
we don't get to be a heel though. We barely get to be heels in this though.
I'm firm, but I'm fair.
The hell you are, Tony.
No, AEW's the heel in this.
But what Alicia said was, I'd believe this more if we've gotten some play up until this point. Then I'd be like, okay, cool. Then it can happen.
I hear you. Well, the Impact roster is speaking louder than ever as far as saying, I want to be the first one to kick that door open.
Okay, but let's kick the door open.
Well, yeah.
We can say everything on our Twitter until we're blue in the face, but if we're not actually getting anything on the show, like again, that's where it all fizzles.
Half their roster doesn't get on their own show.
I guess, but still, it's like
they have like 80 signed talents.
Why isn't Rich Swann or Moose showing up there? Like our main dudes that would have any reason to be there to deal with Kenny. Again, even if it's something as slight as being turned away at the door, it's something to let us know that we're getting some sort of back and forth. But for it to constantly just be like 12-year-old humor that's like, oh, Impact, broke, we're gonna buy Impact, they suck. Yep. Like, oh, they're the reasons our explosions sucked. Like it's just I lost count, but I know we're past 16, 17 weeks of this.
Oh,
and you cannot at this point tell me be patient.
They're gonna have to acknowledge it because he's fighting for their title. Rich Swann is going to challenge for the AEW title. They can't ignore it like they did Hard to Kill.
Right.
It can't be ignored. They have to.
Until I see otherwise, I'm going to disagree with you and say they will willingly, like an ostrich with its head in its sand, ignore it.
It's a layup too.
It might be the week before.
Rich lives in Florida. That's what is the layup on the whole thing. It's
like 2-hour drive.
You're right there. You could get the guy to do something here easily.
And the thing is, this last one, and I have not looked at spoilers. I know they're out there. I've ignored stuff like the plague. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen live.
Yeah.
So let's get past this first week out of the,
this week's taped, right? This coming week's taped.
As far as AEW, the St. Patty's Day
live on the 24th.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see where that. So I guess, but you got to do something. You got to do something this week, though. It just happened, so something has to show this week. Otherwise, you're dead in the water even further.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, guys. I mean, Rich Swann went off the air, 2 belts. I hope he walks around 2 belts. It kind of looks cool. The aesthetic of 2 belts is a nice look. They're giant. The TNA belt's gigantic. It's almost like as big as Rich. Like he's holding it up. But I mean, everything we set aside, we all love Rich Swann. I mean, that could be agreed on. We all love Rich. Mark, you texted me something saying Rich literally is now like this really immortalized in Impact. Like
he's future Hall of Famer for sure.
Forever.
Yeah. I mean,
Chris Jericho is still touting his unification. Rich Swann will always be the only guy who ever unified these 2 titles.
That's so true. That's very true.
He's a legend now.
So good for
making.
It's not like Austin Aries, unifying the world title and whatever else.
The Grand Championship.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Not the same.
No.
I wonder where that belt ended up. When I met Aries in Milwaukee, J-Bone, he had it with him. I wonder what happened to that title.
Well, that's when he was carrying around, he
had all 7 belts with him.
I was going to say at least a half a dozen belts. Yeah.
I will say,
that's a little guy with a lot of belts.
If you're a photo op person, it was fantastic because he's like, literally, pick which belt you want to take a picture with. I'm like, man, this is like a nerd's dream. You're like, I want to take a picture with the fucking so and so belt. Like, sure, take it up. Yeah. He was like, take whatever belt you want. It's like he was raking in the dogs. People were like, oh man, I really love the Destiny World Championship. I'll take a picture with that one. Cool.
Amazing.
For another $5, you can add the Grand Championship. Oh, shit. All right. But either way, I wonder where that belt ended up. But either way, it's cool. It's Rich Swann. It's nearly a year to not a year, but like a little year and some change since his massive injury. He had the most incredible comeback. So great way to cap the comeback for sure. But that's Sacrifice 2021, guys. That's the end. That's the show.
Yeah.
Very interesting show tonight. A lot of cool stuff happened. A lot of stuff we got to tune in Tuesday to see the rest. What the fallout is. Yeah. New tapings have been start Monday. So
it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, and it goes beyond. It's I know Kevin said it's global impact because you really do you do have to see what's going to happen on Wednesday on AEW, and you got to see what New Japan's going to with New Japan. Are they already promoting it? Are they tweeting out stuff?
They are. They heard they were tweeting out tonight. Yeah.
Don't they have a show tomorrow?
They have a pay-per-view tomorrow?
I think they do.
Is it a live pay-per-view?
I think it is. Does anyone in the chat watch New Japan? I think they do have a show.
If that's live tomorrow, I'd like someone to give a report on if FinJuice walks out their titles tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to know if that's happening tomorrow in some way. So check that out. I'm sure it hasn't. Even if they were, it hasn't been hyped because of that reason. Because they just want it tonight, on visually. But if they have a match tomorrow, I'd be curious what happens. But yeah, I mean, check out Impact on Tuesday. It's a brand new episode. AEW's tape, but doesn't mean you can insert a pre-tape into it. Maybe they film some stuff backstage to insert in.
Oh yeah,
Jay, you'll let us know. Jay, you're gonna do a breakdown on that.
Oh, yeah, I assume that Impact is taped as well for this Tuesday.
They're taping from what I understand.
But they're not taping for this week.
That's what I thought.
I think they can't turn it around that quick.
They've done it before, so I don't know. Maybe they have this one in the can already. They might. Otherwise, fresh tapes. I know start Monday, so I don't know if that's this.
They usually have like an extra one.
Yeah, they have a week overlap
while they're taping.
Yeah,
got it,
dude. New Japan Cup is live tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Okay. Is there a card out?
Yeah, there is, but
interesting. I'm curious what happens there.
I don't know. There's no tag matches on it though. It's New Japan Cup.
Wow.
I don't watch a lot of New Japan enough to know, but the headliner is Ospreay versus Sabre Jr. So
okay. Well, listen, something could happen tomorrow.
If
you're watching,
where do you even watch that show over here? I don't even know.
I guess on their app. It's on their app, the New Japan World app. So
yeah.
But that's it, guys. That's the show. We appreciate all the watch along, the review. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was a lot of fun. The Impact Plus specials are fun. They're on Saturday nights. They're pretty cool. It's kind of have something to do on a Saturday night, so it's fun. Yeah. But let's get our plugs in here before we let you guys go.
Well, Trent, before you do that, I saw the nurse has made her appearance in the chat. Is your ex still here too?
Is there a fight going on in the chat? Is that what
I think there's a fight. I don't know if your ex is still around.
Nurse Nicole is defending your honor in the chat.
Oh, she is.
She is.
Oh, she is. She's a she's a sweetheart. Look at that. Standing up to that ex. I would love to see the two of them just square off. Put them in. It's like it'd be like Swan and Moose, man. Just fucking killing each other in there. But what's going on? I'm looking at the chat now. I'm seeing there was a bit of a back and forth.
Nurse Nicole told her to catch her outside.
I called her outside. Catch me outside. Awesome. I would love to see that go down. But nurse, thank you for standing up for my honor.
There you go. And Millard, he's going to check out that New Japan show.
Okay, please details. Do. Yeah, Millard, let us know. Perfect. Let us know if they show up tomorrow
in a few minutes.
Technically, because of the time, it's
a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Millard, tweet us or something. Let us know what happens.
Awesome. We really would love to know tonight.
We might know tonight. He'll be in touch. So
damn. Okay.
Cool. All right, let's get the plugs in here. Let's go. Let these people get out their evening over here. So Millard can watch that pay-per-view. Alicia, where can people follow you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under the handle Alicia BKK.
Very nice. Mark, you and your new microphone, where can they find you?
You can find me at Mark World Order on the Twitter, MARKQ World Order. That's it.
Hey, and by the way, you sound good. You sound great. Oh, I'm glad you upgraded your game tonight.
I appreciate it.
Very nice. Good job. Good job. All right. Bill, where can they get you?
They can find me on the Twitter and the Instagram at my name, William M. Gardner, GARDNER. And just a heads up, I downloaded all the pictures off of my phone. So you know what that means.
We finally getting a post, Bill. We finally getting some posts here.
There'll be some posts.
It might be like next time.
I might be insta-neck in there, J-Bell. I might give you a taste. I'm just trying to figure out if I go, here's the most recent pick I have and go backwards, or go way back and up to the more recent.
Oldest to newest. I want you to dig in deep. I'm voting for oldest to newest.
Deep.
Going deep on this. Oldest to newest, one a day, maybe two a day if you're feeling saucy. One for breakfast, one for dinner, just throw one up. Bookend the day. All right, J-Bone, Smash. We're simulcasting right now on TNI and Smash this podcast, which is what we do for the Impact Plus special. So if you're just joining us, we do both YouTube channels. It's like kind of a family thing here, both just for the Impact Plus specials. We do both YouTube family show, both YouTube channels, Smash and TNI. If you're not subscribed to either, please subscribe to each other, or each of them. And then we're on Smash's podcast on Twitch right now. But for the Impact Big Four pay-per-views and specials and the weekly stuff, all on TNI. Yes. All other brands, Jay covers on Smash's podcast. But go ahead, Jay. Where can they get that?
You can get it on YouTube and on Twitch for everyone that came in tonight and threw a sub or a follow or a like or whatever. Thank you so much. It's all love for Impact. So wherever you watched, thank you. You can also find Smash This Podcast on the Twitter box, the Facebotch, and the old Instaneck. Bill, I'm going to hold you to that Instaneck now because look, Zach Bonifer here he's got no faith in you. Still says 3 months, no faith whatsoever.
I've been waiting too, Bill. I've been waiting to see in my feed. I'm like, nope.
There's a lot that people don't realize. There's a lot of pictures that go through. It's not as simple as just like, oh, here it is, blah, blah, blah. And that's not how it is. I like to be thorough. I don't want to miss anything.
All right, good, fair enough. You have a lot of photos with the Impact talent.
Well, I downloaded 6,000 photos the other day.
Wow. Shit. My God. I'm taking pictures over there. Actually, you know what? Let's leave that. Let's shelve that question.
I have seen that penis.
That's enough. That's enough.
Whoa.
That is enough.
Family show.
Okay, this is into tomorrow. This is Sunday now, officially. Okay, guys, this is Sunday. It was the Lord's
Day. Daylight savings. Less than an hour.
Yeah, like an hour in. All right. Guys, you can get me at Trenzaberry on Twitter and the show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give it a follow. Type in Total Nonstop Impact in any search engine. It comes right up. If you start typing in Google, all of our links come right up. Audio version of the show, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Rate, review, subscribe. We're on everything. So big shout out to the audio listeners. We have been ranking internationally on iTunes like crazy. Saudi Arabia, Africa, Europe, Canada. It's been really interesting to see the international growth of the show on the audio. So I really want to shout those people out. Huge thank you to all those people. It's so like humbling to see those numbers go up like crazy. So as Impact grows in the international market, so do we. So we appreciate you guys checking us out. So big thanks to helping us rank up on iTunes internationally. It's crazy to think we sit here, we do this, and there's people like half a world away who listen to us like talk about this. So that's a trip. So thank you guys very much. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact, and then YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Go ahead and get subscribe, follow, cheer bits. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free Twitch sub a month. You can use it for Smash, use it for TNI. You get a free one a month. Don't waste it, is what I'm saying. You get a free one. That's the key, is not to waste your freebie per month. So go ahead and get that in. And don't forget the show schedules. Every Tuesday night is the Impact on Access TV post show. We go live right after Impact is off the air. This week coming up, Mark, tell them again who our guest is.
We have Adam Thornstowe from Reno Scum Tuesday night right after Impact. Hopefully, if things go well, we will also have his partner in crime, Lester the Legend.
Very cool.
Reno Scum all the way. Let's do it.
We've had guests, just to recap real quick, guys. We've had so many guests on this show already. It's trippy. Jake Something was on last week. We've had Sammy Callahan, Ace Austin, Gia Miller, John Burton, Hernandez. I mean, this is where they come. We are the show. We are the post show. This is where they come to listen to Impact stars. They all want to come here and talk about their careers and Impact. So check here. Thornstowe this week. Kiera has been on the show as well. We've had knockouts on. I mean, there's more to come. This doesn't stop. There's a lot of roster to go through, and they all are definitely going to make their way on TNI at some point.
We're even working on some legends for the throwback too.
Yes. So yeah, that leads me to my next thing. Every Thursday is throwback night. We do NWA TNA Asylum shows. This week coming up, number 61. We skipped it this past week because of schedules. Back on this coming week is throwback number 61. And then every Friday, TNI UK, Joe, Bison, and Steve do a week full recap. News and rumors, kind of discuss it, kind of the across the pond take on everything. Yeah, Impact is pretty big in the UK, so they give it the opinion of the wrestling scene and how that's all breaking down.
I gotta say, for the watch along, and I know it was late over there, 2, 3, whatever a.m. in the UK, but we had a great turnout tonight. Thanks everyone who
so definitely come out and join us again this Tuesday.
Yeah,
and not just reaction along. We're watching the show on Access TV, and you're watching it right here with us.
Yeah, the UK contingent of our listeners is incredible. I honestly, I love you guys. You blow my mind. How many folks in the UK listen to the show? I would love to get some of the folks from Africa. We have a couple from South Africa who listen. I would love to get more
because just the reminder we give them is we're not region locked. Because I know that's an issue with the Impact stream. If you're in the UK, if you're in other parts of the world, you might not be able to watch it live. You can watch it live with us.
Yes. So we are, good. Thanks, Bill, for pointing that. We are not region locked. So take advantage of that. I know in Africa, they get really good ratings. So people wait for it to be on TV. So you don't want a spoiler and stuff. Totally understandable. But if you want to hang out with some folks watching it live, we're here for you. Come hang out with us.
Every Tuesday, we're here.
Every Tuesday, guys. So I think that's it, right, Joe? Anything else?
That's it. Thanks, everyone.
We're doing I'm gonna do a dual outro going on. We're gonna do the Smash and TNI outros as well. So guys, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here with us. Sacrifice 2021 in the books. Great night.
Oh, you know what, Trent? There is one thing because it would not be a sacrifice night unless we did that.
We gotta get the full promo here for sure. There's 121 2/3% chance.
Oh wait, and then hold on, we have to have.
Yeah, all right, we're about to sign off, but guys, thanks again for hanging out with us. Dual outro coming up. We'll see you guys Tuesday night for Impact on XTV. Watch along, then the full show review. Adam Thornstowe in the house. We'll guys talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, everybody.